Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. And today I have an interesting video for you. Today I have another offering from ThruNite. This is model T2 in cool white. I'm very excited about this new flashlight. I want to say thank you to ThruNite right off the bat for sending this out for review. The current price point of this light is around $80. So let's take a look and see what's included in this package. The first thing that you see is this warning label that says, please screw down the light head to the tail cap tightly. So it's basically saying that it's in manual lockout mode. There's the light itself. There's the foam. As you can see, it comes packaged very well. We have an owner's manual, which we'll talk about in a little bit. There is a small card of information. Let's get to the English portion here. That's what's on the card. We also see a small bag of accessories, and in this bag you have a lanyard, you have a charge port cover, and 2 replacement O-rings. So everything you need is included in this bag. So that's very nice. We have a USB 2 to USB-C charging cable. So there's a look at the charging cable that's included, USB 2 to USB-C. So that's very cool. And last but not least, you see a holster, just a very basic holster for this flashlight. It's got a Velcro enclosure, and it's just a simple, straightforward, very simple, very basic holster for this light. Got a little D-ring on the back, and that's where you would put your belt through right there. So it's very nice. So here we will take a look at the owner's manual. So feel free to pause your screen, especially on this page right here. This is all the technical parameters of this light. All the specifications, all the run times, the weight, and then right here is basic information on how to operate the light. So here is a first look at the light. That is a very nice looking build. That light looks fabulous. On the back here you can see the USB-C charging port. Now I'll be honest, it's a little difficult to get underneath that flap there. That might be a positive thing, but there's the USB-C charging port, and it looks like the flap is a little bit better than previous generations, so they're starting to pay attention to that flap. I like what they're doing there. So this light has no problem tail standing. On the bottom you can also see that there is a little hole where you can put your lanyard, and the light comes equipped with a very nice dual direction pocket clip. And I think this pocket clip, it looks a little bit better than previous versions. The pocket clip, they did a really good job. Here is a look at the forward end of the light. You're looking at a glass lens. There is a eggshell type reflector, and the LED inside is a CREE XHP70 LED. So it's a very nice looking build. I like what they do here with this stainless steel bezel ring. That can be threaded off and you can actually access the LED and stuff like that. Not that you would need to. If you look at the power button, you can see that it's a little bit recessed, so it's easy to find with your thumb even if you were in the dark. And if you look at the center of that switch, there's a power level indicator. So when it comes to charging this light with the USB-C cable, when you plug it into that port back there, you'll get two different colors. You'll get red showing you that it's charging, and blue when the charging process is complete. If you see anything purple, you have abnormal charging going on. Let's open this up and take a look at the battery. So looking at the battery tube, you can see that the material is pretty thick and there's a very nice quality spring down in the bottom. Now this light does not have a magnetic tail cap. Here's a look at the head of the flashlight. So you got a nice quality build there. And now let's take a look at this battery. We're operating on a 21700 battery, 5000 milliamp hour, 3.6 volt operation, 18 watt hours. This is a high discharge performance lithium ion rechargeable battery. Here's a look at the negative end of the battery, and here is a look at the positive end of the battery. Now that little plastic thing around the button there, I don't know what that plastic thing is. So let me talk a little bit about the specs of this light. The weight of the light without the battery is 87 grams, and the dimension of the flashlight is 112 millimeters long, 30.5 millimeters at the head, and the body of the flashlight is 26 millimeters. It's made out of aircraft grade aluminum T6061 T6, and it's hard anodized. Now, this next portion is very interesting. This is the working voltage of this flashlight, and I really like what ThruNite has done here. The working voltage is anywhere from 2.7 volts all the way up to 8.4 volts. Now that's really cool because that gives us options to operate this light on other batteries. I thought, well, let me start by playing with just a standard flat top 21700. And when I put this battery in the light, it did not work. The battery is too short. If you compare the lengths of these and you look right there, you can see that the battery that comes with this ThruNite is about 1/4 of an inch longer. So a standard 21700 doesn't work. I was a little disappointed by that. So the next thing that came to my mind was, can I use an 18650 battery in here because of the working voltage, right? Well, the answer was no, because the battery is much shorter. I would have put a tube around it to make the diameter similar, right? But it didn't work because, again, the battery was too short. So I went and grabbed this other adapter that I have. Okay, now this one makes the battery taller. So now you can use the 18650 in this light with this type of adapter. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let me show you that right quick. So you just drop that baby in there just like so. Screw this on, and voila, you are going to see this light work. There's the light. Okay, you see that? There's the light. It works with an 18650. Okay, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. I just wish that it would have worked using a standard 21700. Now let's take this a step further. The next question that came to my mind is, now that I've established that I can use an 18650, and because the working voltage goes all the way up to 8.4, my question was, can I use dual CR123s or RCR123s? Now if I put them in this adapter, they're still too short. See? They don't add up. But if I leave that type of adapter inside the battery tube, I can drop these RCR123s in, and it's probably not recommended. I'm just showing you this in the event that there's an emergency or something and you have to use the light and that's all you got. The light will work. Okay, so I'm using dual CR123s. These are actually RCR123s. Now, another question came to mind, and that was, can I use dual 18350s? That was interesting. Well, when I put them in this adapter, it made everything too long, right? So the dual 18350s, I had to get rid of this adapter and go back to this standard tube adapter. When I did that, it allowed me to run the dual 18350s in this light. And now you see that the light works. So that gives us quite a range of battery options that we can use in this flashlight with two different adapters. I just wish that ThruNite would have made it possible for us to be able to use standard 21700s, because with this battery there's not really a way around it. You can't really use, because it doesn't fit in that adapter. So if we wanted to use maybe a button top 21700 or a flat top like this, you can't. But it does open up these other options as I just described. So let's go ahead and put the battery back in. We're going to put the negative down in towards the battery tube. And I want to talk about how this light operates. It's a very, very simple UI. So we're going to put that in, tighten that bad boy down. One thing I like about this is the pocket clip can go to any orientation. So to turn the light on, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Firefly. So we're going to long press until we see the light come on. You can see that we're lit up on Firefly mode. That's very hard to see because that's such a low setting. That is 0.3 lumens. And on that setting, it'll last for 69 days. That's pretty crazy. Now, if we are in Firefly mode and we push and hold, the light will turn off, but when you push the button, look what happens here. It gives us a red indicator. This is how we access the lockout function in the flashlight. To unlock the light, we're just going to push and hold until we see Firefly again. From here we can turn the light off, and then a single press turns the light on. This setting that you see right here is low. This is 30 lumens. This will last 77 hours. Push and hold, we'll move up to the next setting of medium, 366 lumens for 7.5 hours. And then push and hold, low, medium, there's high. Now high is 1712 lumens for 3 minutes. And then to prevent the light from overheating, it drops down to 732 lumens for an additional 223 minutes. That's almost 4 hours. Now if I double press quickly, you'll see we get to turbo. Let me get that turbo. Turbo is 3757 lumens for 2 minutes of runtime, and then it drops down to 725 lumens for 216 minutes. Now on this turbo setting, we get a throw of 158 meters. Now this light does have a memory, and what that'll do is it'll remember low, medium, or high. It will not remember Firefly, turbo, or the strobe. Now speaking of strobe, to get to strobe, we'll triple click. 1, 2, 3. There's strobe. That is 1450 lumens for 5 hours. Now I really like what they did here on strobe. They didn't go full brightness, but they didn't go like super weak either. They found a good balance between long run time of strobe and still very bright. Now if you talk about turbo, the candela rating of turbo is 6300 candela. This light is impact resistant down to 1.5 meters, and it's IPX8 waterproof down to 2 meters. So as long as that charge port cover's in place, you can go swimming with this light. Now when you turn the light on, you'll see the power level indicator. You'll see several different things. Let me go to a lower mode here. When you first turn the light on, you see it's blue. Now blue tells me that the battery level is between 21 and 100%. If it drops to red, that means my battery is between 11 and 20%. If that battery level indicator starts to flash red, it's telling me that I'm between 1 and 10%. Okay, let's take a look at the IPX8 waterproof standard here on this light. So we'll drop it in the water there. Looks like it's doing just fine. No problems. This is a cool light. I really like this light. It's small, but it's powerful. So it looks like, so far, low, medium, high. Let's go to turbo. Oh, you can feel the heat. And strobe warning. Double click will take us back to turbo. Push and hold, low, medium, high. Now let's turn it off and let's go to Firefly. Yep, you can barely see it. It's on. The Firefly is really low on this one, 0.3 lumens. So you can see that this light clearly passes the IPX8 waterproof standard. No problems at all. They've done a good job. And I like the improvements that they've made on this charging port cover. I've said this a million times. I've never been a fan of this, but when I see them making it better, it makes it a little more easy for me to accept. So there you have a good glimpse of what the charging indicator looks like. And here you see the charging level indicator. After a couple of hours, you can see blue, which tells us that charging is complete. Okay, here we are on Firefly mode. This is 0.3 lumens, and on this setting it'll last 69 days. So this is a good setting for reaching down in a pack. It's good for using as a night light. Maybe you set it on your bedside table and you shine it to the sky, looking at a wound, getting a splinter out, things like that. This is a good setting. It's also good for when you're wanting to be stealthy, you don't want to be seen, kind of, you know, reconnaissance type stuff. That's what this setting is for. So this is a very good amount of light that will last you a lot of time. You can see here we are on low. This is 30 lumens, and on this setting you can see a little bit more. This will last for 77 hours or 3.20 days. You can also see the blue battery level indicator in the center of your screen there drifting off to the right. So that's pretty cool. So low, let's push and hold. There's medium. This is a good setting, 366 lumens for 7.5 hours. Now on this setting, you're starting to notice the beam pattern of this light. This is a very floody type beam, which I like. It's really floody, so it picks up a lot of stuff. Now, if we go up to high, low, medium, there's high. We're dealing with 1712 lumens for 3 minutes, and then to prevent overheating, it'll drop down to 732 lumens for an additional 223 minutes, which if you convert that into hours, that's 3.71 hours. So that's a very good amount of light. Now, I've charged this light before coming out and doing these night shots, so let's double press and see what turbo looks like. There's turbo. Personally, I can't tell much of a difference, but they say that turbo is 3757 lumens for 2 minutes, and then to prevent the overheating, it drops down to 725 for an additional 216 minutes. Or 3.6 hours. So after step down, if you want a brighter light, you're better off using high, because you'll get better run times and you'll get a brighter light. So stepping down on high is 732 for 3.7 hours versus turbo 725 after step down for 3.6 hours. Now I can see the light gradually diminishing as I'm shooting this video. Now let's talk about this for a second. On turbo you get 158 meters of throw. That is very good for a floody style beam. Now strobe warning, when I triple click, there is my strobe, 1450 lumens for 5 hours. This is a good strobe, very disorienting. I think they're quite effective on what they've done with this strobe. Now I can feel the light heating up in my hand. If I double press from strobe here, I'll go back to turbo. There we go, we're back to turbo, and then if I push and hold, again, we'll go to low, medium, high. Let's go to turbo again just to see if I can tell a difference. It's a little bit brighter. I think what it does, low, medium, high, I think it's the peripheral. The outside diameter of the light. Watch this. This is high. Let's go to turbo. Watch how much brighter these outer edges right here by my finger get. Look at that. It lights that up. So that's, I guess, the difference. It's a brighter flood. So I hope you enjoyed these night shots. This is a beautiful light. I really like what it's doing. And the run times are good. Well, folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video of the ThruNite Model T2. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, showing your support to my channel. If you like the type of content that you've been seeing on my channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'd really appreciate that, because when you guys do that, that significantly helps me continue to do all these videos that I do. Not just the flashlight videos, but the overnighters and all the other types of content that I have on my channel. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to everybody out there. I hope you guys are having a good time. Everything's going well in your life. I send you tons of blessings from Arizona. And until next time, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.